Hello and welcome to another episode of It Could Have Been a Classic. And I'm sorry I've been away for a while, but life gets in the way, so I thought I'd get this in. There'll be another episode this week. I'm just catching up on a TV series that got cancelled. That's going to be interesting. But I thought I saw this a couple of days ago and I forgot all about it. And I could never get hold of a copy back in the 90s because Channel 4, you remember Channel 5? In some areas you had to have an aerial converter to watch it, and I had a friend in Scotland, this was on Channel 5, he sent it to me on VHS and I watched it and I was totally dumbfounded. So we're going to be talking about 1997's Justice League. Yeah, they did. They made a film and it was the TV pilot that just got panned. Now, if anybody remembers reading the comic series, when they revamped the Justice League with Booster Gold and Blue Beetle and Fire and Ice and Guy Gardner, and Batman twatted Guy Gardner in that iconic picture when he were intimidating everybody because he banged his head and he was right aggressive. And classic stories like Justice League Antarctica were major disaster. And then we got this. I mean, and they were trying to take them characters. Obviously, they couldn't get the main Trinity in. They couldn't afford it. Plus, probably didn't have the rights. But this is bad. And I am... Now, at the time, I'm going to admit, back in 97, when I first saw this, I was quite interested. But I look at it now and think, this is terrible. It really is. I mean, Guy Gardner, he's not even Guy Gardner in this. They've got him down as like he's got the power of the Gab and he's a womanizer and all this. I mean, the total opposite to what Guy Gardner was. Fire and Ice were really flirty and good fun to be around. And they should have put Booster and Beetle in this, but they didn't. Martian Manhunter, I have to say, it doesn't look bad on the makeup. It's sort of alright, probably wet budget when. But Michelle Hurt's in this, so I can't, I mean, she's obviously a big star now. But this is fucking terrible. It really is. Even the costumes, it's like, if you're going to go to a fancy dress party, these are the costumes you're going to rent. Flash, but he also fancies fire and all this. Flash Luke gets kicked out of his house and goes and lives with Atom. His big budget scene is where he rescues the cat. I mean, no, he does. He rescues the cat under a house. Well, there's a tornado going on, and they live together. Fire's an actress, but they're always like their lives are chaotic because secret identity. But it all just builds to a big sort of scene towards end, and Tori Ice, she gets superpowers and she saves Metro City and joins the Justice League. So the film's plot is based on the Justice League comic era of Keith Giffen and J.M. DeMatteis writers. It's filmed in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Reviews of the film have been negative. Common complaints are of the plot holes, poor special effects, bad costumes, and that the lead members deviated heavily from their source characters. The critics have also said the movie tried to be like Friends with superpowers. That's true. The said film was established JLA writer Mark Waid said the film was 80 minutes of my life I'll never get back, and I'm going to have to agree with him. I'm going to have to agree. So that's basically it. There ain't really a lot of background information. It fucks up, flops, and it is bad, and it didn't actually. I wondered how much this cost as well. maybe this could have been saved if they'd have stuck more to the source material. I think Superman, Lewis and Clark, you remember when that were out in the 90s? It has dated now, but when you watch it, you do sort of enjoy it. But they put a budget into that, and I get what they tried to do with this. I mean, Michelle Hurd, the lady that plays Ice. I mean, the actors aren't bad, but it's the characterisation of that kills this film. I mean, Green Lantern, he'd have been kicked out the Green Lantern Corps for what this guy could do. Flies around like a helicopter, like his ring. But I suppose special effects, but this was the first time you really actually got to see a live action Green Lantern. And they probably couldn't use Hal Jordan, copyright or whatever. But anything, George Ferry always plays a good villain, and the costumes. I mean, they could have put a bit more effort into them. I will say the Martian Manhunter, I was sort of quite impressed with him. They did sort of replicate him from the older comics, But the villain, it could have been the weather. At least they could have had the weather wizard. And some of the effects in this aren't bad. I mean, from what I'm reading on reviews, people did like the Flash. And I think this was before the Flash series. Or it might have been after, I don't know, I should have looked at that. But even the Flash series, when it was out in the 90s, actually I think Flash was before. That was really good. It still stands today, but this is terrible. And I think they tried, they were all like this, like family, but they all come together when the problems getting there and all this, but they just got it so wrong. And I did get the Guy Gardner character really annoyed me. The Atom, his costume was terrible, but the overall writing for this, even the story, it was just awful. I mean, I remember reading about this thing in SFX magazine, and I got so excited about it, thinking I'm going to see a live action Justice League. Now it's 2023 and we've had the Zack Snyder cut, which is superb. The greatest cartoon ever made was Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. For me, they were the greatest superhero cartoons made. And then we got this. It's just, it's like they're trying to take this cheesy thing of superheroes and make it, oh look, it's Green Lantern, oh it's alright mum, I'm here to save you. I mean, I wouldn't want this lot turning up and saving me. I really want, all of them were fucking useless in this. And like the whole thing with Tori and Atom and he fancies her, and then we jump to these scenes where they're all like stood together, like, we all know each other and we're, talking about the problems. And then we jump back to another fucking boring scene where they're all living together at home. And then the big reveal obviously is the Martian Manhunter, John J. Jones, and he's like, I came to Earth because I loved the freedoms here, and basically they kicked me off my planet or whatever, and I come here and I searched for people with abilities and created the Justice League. Now the question is, could you have made a series out of this? This is the big question. I mean, it is absolute shit, but I will say, this is one you have to have in the collection. It really is. Now, I know I have moaned about this, but I'm going to say, I admit this, when I watched this in the 90s, I've not seen it in years, and YouTube removed it, so I've had to go on Dailymotion, just to find it, but I do have a digital copy. And I would probably buy this on physical media for the collection, but when I watched it, I will say there was part of me that sort of enjoyed it as well. It's that bad, it's that cheesy, that I did sort of become endeared by some of the characters. Do you know what I mean? It's a total shit show, is this, but there is something in there. I mean, you're not gonna hate it. I don't hate this. I should do, because I used to buy all the comics and I was a fanatic, especially with the characters. For me, that was my favourite time with the Justice League in comics, you know, when it were Guy Gardner, Blue Beetle and and all that. But if they'd have probably gone more with source material, they could have I think they might have been able to pull this off. Spruced up the comics, made Fire and Ice a bit flirty as how they were. Introduced Beetle and Beetle. I'd have got rid of Atom. Atom's pointless in this. And I'd have put in Booster and Beetle and dropped hints of the Trinity, like Superman. They'd have been sort of mentioned that they're out there somewhere. And turn the villain into something a bit better from canon. And you could have had something, do you know what I mean? There is, but they went so far off track with this. I don't know what it became, but I don't hate it. That is the problem. It annoys me. But when I was watching it, there were moments what I did sort of enjoy. I did like the actors in this. Michelle Hurd's superb, you know, and I liked her that played Tori, you know, Ice. But I think it was all like focused around Tori. It should have been focused on Fire and Ice, and get rid of Atom, Beetle and Booster, get them in, get Guy Gardner as what he was, a bit rough and all that, and like the Martian Manhunter, he's like the wise father figure for the team. And bring in a fucking decent villain. And just a few more quid on effects. Up the suits and you could have had something. I'd have dropped the whole Friends thing where they're all stood together. I know they were trying to be different, but it don't work. So now the question is this a classic? Could this have been a classic? No. Unfortunately not. It's not a classic at all. It is. I'm going to say it's terrible. I don't hate it, but it's terrible. And that's this week's review. Do check this out. It is on Daily Motion, so you can watch it. Do you know, get a kebab, get some friends round. When you've had a few beers, you might just get into this. But no, yeah, you're not a classic. Sorry, Justice League 1997. You're going down the toilet of eternity. See you on the next video. Please subscribe and give this channel a like.